Good evening, I'm Nikhil Naz. We'll get you all the latest from Sri Lanka. Just a few days to go before India play their first test match there. Joining me will be my colleague Amitoj Singh, but also a very, very special guest on the show this evening. Joining us will be the highest wicket taker for India in both test and one-day cricket, Anil Kumble, and he'll talk about his journey. That is 25 years ago he made his test debut. We'll be looking back at that, but we'll start with the latest from the Galle test match. Few days to go for that test match to start, but before that, India have lost one of their key players in Murli Vijay, who's out of the first test because of injury.
When Murli Vijay didn't come out to bat in the warm-up match versus the Sri Lanka board president's 11, it was clear that he is not fully fit. And now the team management has confirmed that Vijay, India's best test batsman in the past few months, will miss at least the first of the three upcoming tests versus Sri Lanka.
On the team front, injury front, Murli Vijay will not be fit for the first test. Okay, let's get that out of the way. He's still under recovery, he's not fully recovered, and we don't want to take a chance for this first test match, especially with weather like this, slippery outfields and things like that.
In his last 10 tests for India, Vijay has scored over 1,000 runs in 19 innings with 3 centuries and 6 50s at an average of 54.
He's the informed player, he's had a fabulous run in test match cricket. You know, he has the ability to play the long innings, which he's shown. So he will be missed because he's an experienced player now.
The Tamil Nadu cricketer was seen helping Lokesh Rahul in the Indian team's practice session on Monday. Rahul will be Vijay's replacement for the Galle test.
Murli Vijay was the last Indian batsman to get padded up for the next session. But just when he was walking into bat, the rain came and interrupted the training session. So he walked back to the pavilion, but he rose his bat as if he had just scored a century. So while he may not be India's chief guardian at the Galle fort right here in Sri Lanka, he's still in high spirits because he knows whatever happens here, he'll be back in the playing 11 for the second test versus Sri Lanka in Colombo. In Galle with Sanjay Kishore, Amitoj Singh for NDTV.
All right, let's cut across live to Galle. Joining me, my colleague Amitoj Singh from there. Amitoj, how do you see this? I know, we are a few days away from that test match, but we've already lost a key player, Murli Vijay, as we showed in our package there as well, one of the top run getters for India. Would you say that it's a bit of a disadvantage for India going into that first test match?
Well, Nikhil, I'm sorry, I couldn't really hear what you were saying because what's happening out here is that the sea is right behind me, and I can tell you that the connection is a bit weak. I heard what you said, but I can tell you what happened today. It was a very interesting day because for us who've come to Sri Lanka, at least for me for the first time, we had rain about 6 times hit us in the middle of something like this, a live broadcast, and then just the moment we packed up, it was all over. But what we can tell you is that Murli Vijay is, as you know, not going to be playing this particular test match, but he is in high spirits because he believes he'll play the next. Also, just a few other things I'd like to mention out here. The attitude that Virat Kohli has been talking about for a long time, the positive attitude, the aggressive attitude, that was very well seen by us amongst the media. We talk about how we can't really see so much when we just look at a person, but we can actually see in the body language, and that's what we saw. Someone like a Varun Aaron couldn't even fit in his run-up in the practice net session, but he chose to take a curvish way to go towards the batsman and run towards him. That's the kind of attitude they have right now. They're willing to actually go for the kill. That's what we are seemingly understanding. So, Nikhil, if you have another question, I'd be glad to take it, but just be a little louder.
Okay, we'll try. I know you can't hear me really well. I'll try my luck anyway, Amitoj. Before this tour started, there was a bit of a headache for the Indian team to decide who the 2 openers will be, because there was Shikhar Dhawan there was Murli Vijay, and then there was KL Rahul, who did very well in Australia as an opener. So do you think that sort of headache has sorted itself out automatically with Murli Vijay injured?
Unfortunately, Nikhil, I couldn't really get your question, but I think you were talking about hope, and that's all I could get. But I would like to say a few other things shortly because I couldn't answer your question. I will say this: we saw the Sri Lankan team practicing a short while back, and Angelo Matthews had a training session where he was really sprinting. He was doing a few German drills, as we know it, with the Sri Lankan physio and trainer. And what we've gathered out here is that they seem to be slightly more confident. Today is the day when Ravi Shastri came out and actually chose to give us the news of Murli Vijay not playing, and that seems to have had some kind of an effect on the team in terms of their shoulders maybe drooping a little bit. But when you talk about the Sri Lankan team, they seem upbeat. Kumar Sangakkara was there. He had something tied towards his left kneecap. He's obviously playing his last test match in Galle, and everything about Galle is about Sangakkara at the moment. There are posters, there are people coming in to see him. There were fans out there to watch him and take autographs and pictures and selfies. So it is all about Sangakkara, and come the day of the test match, one can expect that it's all going to be about Sangakkara. And even when we go to Colombo for the second test match, which will be his last, but in Galle, one gets the feeling that rain will play a huge part. Whether it will be actually one that is decisive, we can't really say. What we know, we spoke to the pitch curator. He's a former Sri Lankan cricketer, and he's made it very clear that we'll be able to get a full 5-day and probably a result also.
Right, Amitoj. Thanks so much for that.